Welcome everyone today to Game 108, 2D art assets for 2D video games. Alright, welcome to my class, you guys. This is a 5-week classes. Okay, you'll have 5 projects, 5 quizzes, and the forum as usual. Okay, we'll try to do a lot of things and to cover a lot of ground in this class in these 5 weeks. So please do the work and put some details into the work. In this type of business, you know, it's everything into the details itself, in the shading, the little details and so forth, okay? So the first week, you guys, basically in this class, you are going to create a full level for a video game. Simple one, alright? It's only 5 frames, 600 by 400. Look into the details, into the technical engine specification in the shell, you'll see that. You need to do 5 frames. We have the engine, it's in the doc sharing, you can download it to kind of look at what's going on, you know, for the naming convention. Everything has to be named exactly the same way that the engine uses it, okay, because there will be no compiling. It's a simple thing, your first game basically. Okay, we'll do that in 2 weeks for the play field and the background, and we'll add a prop, you know, the 3rd week and 4th week. Alright, you guys? So, it works like that. First week, we're gonna get into pixel art, you guys, which is the basic, the bread and butter of video game, the original classic video game type of art. Okay, we're gonna do that the first week. This, you know, and your project 1 will be simply to create the 5 tile, the line art, the drawing, alright, for your level. You'll have to do, in project 1, you'll have to do the background buildings, alright, and the walls, and the sky also, and also you'll do that, obviously, okay? Everybody has to do the same type of level, urban level type of things, okay, or something very similar to that, okay. If you want to do something different, you have to contact me and email me to ask me what you want to do and if it's possible. So, okay, you'll do that in the first week, and we'll go through all the pixel art techniques and so forth. Okay, so you will have your line art. You're gonna scan it in and clean it. That's part of your first project, so it'll be in digital using Photoshop and Illustrator. Okay, so you guys taking Photoshop, so you're fine with that. You need to just clean it up in Photoshop and then trace it with using Photoshop tools. Okay, in the 2nd week, you guys, we're going to do seamless texturing. Okay, and seamless texturing is the bread and butter of texturing for video games, 2D and 3D actually, because 3D video game texturing is mainly done in 2D. Okay, so it's really the bread and butter for it, and it's you need to know it. And there's a couple techniques to do it that we will cover, and that will be used for you guys, by you guys, in week 2 for project 2, so you can put colors into your actual line art for the level. All right, which will bring life to it, you know, and you'll use the shading techniques we talked about in week 1, you know, with specular and shadows and the main colors, you know, in pixel art to do your shading and specular aspect of the pictures. Okay, you can use also real pictures using seamless texturing technique in that things to do the playfield, for example. Okay, the playfield needs to be 1/3 of the side of the screen, so 2/3 for the background and 1/3 is the playfield. It's always better to do what? A smaller playfield or a bigger playfield? A bigger playfield. If you do a small playfield, your players can be on the backgrounds and not on playfield anymore, which look kind of awkward. Alright, so make sure you have that a little bigger, you know, than just a 1/3, so like that you have a safe distance, and you look better anyway, so your character doesn't bump into the wall straight up. Alright, it looks weird when you have enemies floating down. That video game you're gonna make, you already have characters and bad guys and enemies and bosses already pre-done in sprites and 2D. You will be in charge of making all the backgrounds for 5 frames, and the first frame and the last needs to be seamless, so they can run around like that, like a loop, so we can loop it. Okay, that's very important, so remember that for your work. And then after that, in week 3, we'll get into decal sets. Okay, decals is one of the really big trick the industry uses to recreate a lot of details on video games, 2D and 3D too, but it's a 2D technique that could be applied in 3D, so it's very important to know it. And we will do, as Project 3, a set of decals, 5 of them for one set, that will bring life to your Project 1 and 2. Which I mean by that is that it'll be a set, for example, of posters, broken posters, old posters, rendered posters, maybe graffitis, maybe bullet holes, maybe a little bit of blood stain, there's always blood in video games, and stuff like that, and I'll show you how to do all those things, one by one, and then you'll do yours, and it needs to be yours, not the one done in exercise. You need to create your own, think about what you need for your actual level, alright? That will be week 3, okay? Now, in week 4, you guys, we're gonna get into animations, okay? We're gonna get into props and animations, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna look at sprites, alright? And we're gonna do a simple sprites using our props that we want in our games, alright? For if you guys are, for some of you guys are more confident, you can do the actual box sprites, and then actually you can also, or just a prop sprites, and also do a character sprites. That would be very cool, alright? Also, but you have to do at least an animated prop. A couple of weapons, something like that, but you don't have to do a character. But that would be nice if you could do the main character of that game too. And I'll put the sprites and show you all the details for that if you're interested in doing that. Alright? And that'll be your project 4 for week 4, alright? Sprites and animation, 2D animation.